Wow, wow, wee wah. We are seeing in real time, again, the quick moving, fast moving, censorious nature of big tech. This is Google. This is YouTube. And it's perhaps the biggest, most like, I know Jeremy clickbaits, we all know, but this is like the biggest story in like medical history slash like potentially corruption, and you can't even Google it. And I'm going to be very careful about the way I talk about things because that's what I do best, because it's important to get the message out. But if you haven't yet, make sure you leave a like on this video, and when you and make sure you get out there and share it. The one place it doesn't seem to be suppressed, ironically, is Twitter. It'd be nice if I could use Twitter and see it. However, I remain locked out because apparently, you know, public images are the worst thing on the planet. Now, last night, I will be using PV for the company that dropped the knowledge, and as well as the big P is the company it's about. So James O'Keefe dropped a story that is absolutely villainous. Just you want people like in jail for this. Lots of people. Essentially you had, by the way, shout out to the classic PV honeypot. Like they give these people like 2 to 3 drinks and they think, and then the possibility of a hookup, and they just spill their guts, right? So I want to talk about first in general what was revealed and this is like their employee, an executive at the big P, right? An executive there is said this. I'm not inferring that. You can watch the video. Jordan Tristan Walker, a director of R&D, strategic operations, and a scientific planner, quote, "One of the things we're exploring is like, why don't we just change the COOF ourselves so we could preemptively develop new cures?" That's what they're looking into. So they're talking about, this is an executive at the company that is making billions of dollars manufacturing the thing that your government has said you've got to put in your body. Again, I cannot stress this enough. Quote, "One of the things we're exploring is like, why don't we just mutate it?" He's talking about the COOF ourselves so we could preemptively develop new products. So we have to do that. If we're going to do that, though, there's a risk of, like, as you could imagine, no one wants to be having big pharma mutating viruses. Yeah. He also said, "Don't tell anyone. Promise me you won't tell anyone." The way the experiment would work is we would put this into monkeys, and we successfully cause them to keep getting each other sick, and then we collect samples from them. You could be very controlled to make sure that this new COOF that you mutate doesn't create something that just goes everywhere, which I suspect is the way that it started in Wuhan. Again, this is a Pfizer director of research and development, strategic operations. This isn't some low-level lackey at the company. To be honest, it makes no sense that the COOF popped out of nowhere. It's BS. Quote, "From what I heard is they," the scientists at the big P, "are optimizing it, the mutation process. But they're going slow because everyone is cautious." I mean, thank God, I guess, if you're going to be the most evil company on the planet, at least be somewhat careful. Obviously, they don't want to accelerate it too much. I think that they are also trying to do it as an exploratory thing. You obviously don't want to advertise that you are figuring out new mutations, not just figuring them out, creating them. Again, this is as if to say, perhaps in a more simple way, we're going to create the problem and then sell you the cure for it. Oh, and the problem kills people. Millions of them. That pause is intentional. On tape. Now, I'm not going to play the video, but you can go see the video. It's got freaking 20 million views on Twitter. What is the reaction to this? By the way, who is this individual? Well, we have an article. Essentially, Dr. Walker said a lot that I think we all suspected, but now we can be pretty sure we knew. So he is an actual Big P senior executive. So far, it looks like he's the real deal. Though he may be on loan to the Big P from a Boston consulting group. However, like with any case, I put my excitement aside and started to do what I do as a standard practice in my work as a private intelligence and security consultant, due diligence. Like there's people here, it goes into a deep dive. You can see the key takeaways I want to highlight. One, he helped create market forecasts for therapeutics related to oncology in 2021. He conducted impact evaluation of value-based payment models and COOF-related changes in hospital reimbursement policies. He took a BCG-sponsored Mandarin Chinese language and business immersion course right before the lockdown hit the United States. He is clearly a marketing specialist in the pharma space. Was Dr. Walker one of the poke confidence team members that created the strategy to manipulate the American population into taking this product? Pretty interesting. His whole experiences here. Allegedly, he went to Yale. But how does Google react to this undeniable information? Like, this video will probably be my lowest viewed of the day. Normally, I don't like to double dip on things that, for example, Tim Pool covers because we share a big audience. And like, people get, they don't want to, they're like, oh, it's a different take. I already know what's up. But like, Google just removes it. Saying here, big tech, big pharma. You see James putting what's going on here. If you try to Google the big P and PV together, it's censored. You can see here, PV has just obtained internal documents further verifying that indeed Jordan Walker is the Director of Research and Development Strategic Operations. So the guy is who they say he is. So no, he's not. A lot of people are like, well, are you sure he's even there? So they say they are. Yes, he is this dude. Okay, he said what he said, and he works for them in the role that was presented. Google now censoring PV after the release of the bombshell video, revealing their plan to intentionally, create problems and then sell the cure for them. And Google is censoring it. The same is happening with YouTube. This is just shocking. You see this. Even YouTube is limiting the search results for this search term on its platform. We can see many videos uploaded via the upload date, but nothing in the regular search tab. Even flipping over to good, the machine is in overdrive. I mean, it's absolutely nuts that you can't. I mean, when you have Google, YouTube, same company, right? Stopping people from doing basic research on what should be the biggest story of the modern era. You have big pharma admitting, hey, yeah, we're doing, everything that we've condemned, right? And then we're going to put people's lives at risk so we can sell a new product potentially. I'm trying to think a good faith reason why you might do this. And I'll present one to be so that I'm not completely, people can't say I'm completely biased. By the way, if you haven't yet, please subscribe down below. I've got a lot more, this is obviously the most important story of the day, but I've got a lot more news for you today too, and I wouldn't want you to miss. Maybe you say, okay, we think that this thing will naturally change over time. And so if we can naturally change it over time, then we can be ready with a product when it changes. That is something that you would think might be good. But the concern happens is when leaks happen, or when they make all these changes and something gets out and people get sick and people don't survive it. They are for profit creating things that will that could cost the lives of millions of people. And Google and YouTube is saying that you can't know about it. Please share this video. Please go to the PV website, share their video, and you be the judge. You say if you think this is all much ado about nothing. I don't think so. Sure wish I was able to log into my Twitter, Elon. This is insane. Share this everywhere.